Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video here on the Art Lucas channel. And today, a mega tutorial of Kakashi Anbu. Guys, it's an amazing drawing, easy to do. So, leave a like, share this video, and let's also get started on our drawing. Well, today we're going to be using that reference you just saw. I'll leave it set aside there in the corner because that way we can explain each part of the drawing better. To make this tutorial super easy, we're going to make a round sketch to create this drawing. So I used my tape here to make the circle, so now we're going to start sketching, first dividing it in half. Guys, remember that if you really want to learn how to draw, check out the first link in the description. If you already know how to draw and want to learn coloring, see the second link in the description. And check out our two courses, one on drawing and one on painting. Alright, well most of you already know this sketch here. Do you know how it works? But if you still have any questions about this sketch, like how to get the proportions right, eyes, hair, take our course and you'll learn all of that there. And after that, let's get started with our drawing. First, what are we going to do? We're going to start with the first step. His face mask, since it's broken, will cover half of his face, so we'll start with that. See that? I put my hand over the reference to make this part more random, so it looks a bit more natural. I don't want to follow those lines too closely, that's why I covered them up. And now we're done here. So we start by doing this part of the mask and then we'll do the rest of the drawing. Guys, don't forget that after you finish watching this video, go to our link here in the description. Here's what I'll do. I'll also pin it in the comments, which makes it easier. Share your thoughts on this video in the comments. Alright, we're going to make the eye. Look, it has an eye that's really easy to make. Very simple. I even highlighted it a bit here, coloring it a little, see? But remember, you don't have to. This one is just a sketch, so I just colored it in to really bring our drawing to life. And here we're going to do this part. I'm going to add some hatching here too. Look, do you know what hatching is? Leave it in the comments. Well, we've finished our mask. Now let's start working on the other part of our drawing. I'm going to start by sketching his hair. Look, first I'm going to change it just a little bit here, see? Alright, let's leave it like this. So we're going to start, guys, by sketching the part of our hair. Look, we start sketching. Sometimes I take a while because I study the reference a bit before doing it. After I've studied it, I think the lines start to flow much more easily, much faster, and much more naturally. Look, so we have to take a look at our sketch, yes, but we also have to analyze our reference. It's good for us to always be observing because I think the greatest gift of an artist is the gift of observation. Because it's by observing the drawing, observing your sketch, your reference, that you'll be able to keep improving more and more in your drawings. So yeah, right? Observation is very helpful. For example, this part is bigger and this one is smaller. Let's shrink this part and enlarge that part, because through this, you'll be able to fit your drawing into the right proportions, right? But the best way for you to get the proportions right is by sketching properly and making the sketch the right way. There. See, sometimes I even do it quickly. Why? Because of the convenience, because of, how do you say, the practice we do every day. We start gaining skills. Look, this is the line for the eye underneath, and above it, we make another line and two little lines for the eyebrow. Now the bottom part as well. Look, we make a line, we make the little circle, and then we're going to draw the Sharingan here inside his eye. Look. We make these four little dots here, then connect them here. Okay, when we color, we'll create a cooler effect, right? And here, guys, there's going to be a tear, alright? We're going to make this tear effect on this character in this drawing too. And look, we're going to make more tears here, see? We'll have two tears running down from his eyes here. And now we just finished the bottom part. We draw two lines like those little bones, the little bones here, right? From the chest area. And then just finish the shoulders here. Look, we finished the right shoulder now, and that's it. Look, alright, guys. This is the part of our drawing, right? It was a pretty easy part. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to check out our links, which are in the description and also pinned in the comments. Because really, here with us, you're going to learn how to draw your favorite drawings without leaving home, alright? And that's it. Here we're going to add an effect, color his nose so you can leave it like this, and let's start outlining our drawing. I'm using a Unipin 05 here to do this outline, so you can use whatever pen you have. There are some tricks, some techniques for you to really be able to make a nice outline. But you already know, right? In our course, you'll learn all of this. How to make a very precise, very neat and very professional outline, right? That makes a big difference in our drawing. When you know how to finish, when you know how to make a nice outline, and your professional line work takes your drawing to another level, alright? So that's it. Let's color. We're going to use trees to do this coloring. First we used the light brown here to make the initial shadow. Then we went over it with a light pink, and after that a skin tone. First we go over the shadows, then we do the base of his skin. There we used purple and red, and now his hair, right? Since his hair is really white, we're going to pull strand by strand here, just to create the same shadow effect. It's in our reference. We're going to make a slightly bigger shadow to make it look cooler. And guys, you don't need to, right? For example, come in with a white pencil over here. Look, I actually used a white pencil just to give it a stronger effect, so it doesn't end up looking like that. White from the paper, you know? Guys, I prefer the white from the pencil over the white from the paper. But that's up to you, because the white from the pencil is a bit more yellowish, okay? So it's your choice whether you want to leave it without the white pencil or with the white pencil. And the mask, we're using markers, right? Let's make a shade of gray and add some small shadows. The eye is also really dark, see? And we colored the eye red. And now this other part down here, see guys? We're going to start trying to make a gradient with markers here. But since mine are here, with the ink almost running out, and I can't find the little things to refill it, I won't be able to make a 100% gradient. That's something you can do with colored pencils there. And we left the tear part white, see? Over there. And then we'll finish this part, right? The tear, by outlining it, adding some effect on top of it later. We're almost done here with the bottom part. Look, just need to finish this strap here, right? From the vest he's wearing. And that's it, guys. Finishing up the tear there, I kind of outlined it with a pencil. Then I used a blue color. And after that, I went over it with a white gel pen. Alright, and that's it, guys. Look how our drawing turned out today. Super easy tutorial that you'll definitely be able to do. Don't forget to check out the links in the description or the links pinned in the comments so you can become one. To become our drawing student. So that's it. Check out our result. Share this video with anyone who likes to draw, who likes Naruto, or who is also a fan of Kakashi. Alright? That's it, guys. See you in the next video.